Hey, what's going on guys? The new Tempest Trials is here and the reward for this one is Strong and Tough Arden. You can get him from the Genealogy of Light Tempest Trials at 6,000 and 30,000 points. Today we're going to take a look at his stats, skills, and some of my recommended builds. Like every Tempest Trials hero, they are free to play units, so they are always neutral. At max level, his stats are ridiculous. I love his stat spread. He has 60 HP, 36 attack, 16 speed, 41 defense, 16 resistance, and 169 BST. This dude has extremely low speed and resistance, but all of those stats are put into his HP and his defense. Zephyr used to have the highest HP at 55, but not no more. Arden has 60. He also has the highest neutral defense in the game at 41. However, Drog with a positive defense IV pushes him up to 42. But back to Zephyr, Arden has better stats than Zephyr in almost every category besides resistance, which can be patched up to a certain extent with the Deflect Magic Sacred Seal. He can pretty much survive all doubles from green mages and only some from red mages when he has the Deflect Magic Sacred Seal equipped. Blues will be a problem though. Physical bulk wise, this guy is near the top. His low speed actually helps him a lot because his defense is very high, therefore a lot of enemies will double zeros on him, which will charge his special even faster. And as for his attack, 36 is the same as Hector's, 1 more than Zephyr and 2 more than Black Knight. I would say his attack is at a pretty solid number. For Arden, I'm just going to go over his B skill, then just talk about the entire skill set altogether. I think that would be better. B skill is Follow Up Ring. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack when unit's HP is greater or equal to 50% at start of combat. So this is Arden's unique skill. It's uninheritable. It's like a player phase quicker post, or you can think of it like a Brash Assault on steroids, just like how Arden is Drog on steroids. So basically what it does is that if Arden has half or more HP, then he's guaranteed to double attack. That does mean he gets to attack twice in a row before the enemy can counter. It means that if he initiates on the enemy, Arden attacks, enemy counters, then Arden is allowed to attack again despite his garbage speed. By the way, this does work on both phases. If we take a look at his weapon, is Brave Sword Plus, which means Arden is able to quad enemies as a slow armored unit. The important thing to know is that when he initiates combat with Brave Sword Plus, assuming that the enemy doesn't die in the first 2 smacks and is able to counterattack, Arden is able to activate 4 charge specials with his last hit or 5 charge specials with Quick Impulse equipped. I think Brave Sword will be one of his best weapons because squishies will just die from 2 hits and the ones with medium to high defense will die to special procs. If you take a look at his HP, then I think you would agree that Panic Ploy 3 should be his best C skill. You can use the Panic Ploy Seal instead, but that will replace Deflect Magic, which will lower his chances to survive versus mages. If you put him on the Armor Emblem team, then Ward Armor is the go-to skill. Arden is a very strong free-to-play armor unit. He comes out of the box with incredible stats. The best ally to use him with will be Amelia or some type of armor unit with Armor March. You'll need that extra movement speed to get in and quad enemies on the front line. Also, if you have a good flower unit, then you can give them the Guidance 3 skill or Sacred Seal, and that'll help out Arden's bad mobility as well. As for the free-to-play rankings, I think Arden is definitely better and will see more use than Zephyr, even though they kind of have different roles. Zephyr is used for his great physical bulk and utility. Arden is also a tank, but his offensive power is just incredible. I think Black Knight is still better due to his stats, weapon, and his unique special. Armor units really benefit a lot off of distant counter because of their terrible mobility, and Black Knight has built-in distant counter in his weapon, and that frees up his A slot skill for important defensive skills like steady stance and distant defense. Because of the unit rating is based off default skills and stats, I will be ranking his magical bulk really low. But if you consider stuff like Deflect Magic Sacred Seal or Worry Fighter, then the rating definitely goes up. Also, he doesn't have a damage special, so his offensive power is somewhere between B and A. First build is kind of a budget set. It's the default set with Ignis, Swap, and Earth Boost. Ignis will be his best special for his set. When he initiates combat, he'll receive the exact amount of charges to activate Ignis, which will deal a big whopping 37 extra damage. Because Follow Up Ring works on both phases, I think it's best to use one of the boost skills because they work on both phases. But if you plan to use Arden only on the player phase, then a blow skill is fine. I recommend an Earth Boost for the set just because the strategy with the set is to keep Arden's HP over 50% so he can use Follow-Up Ring's effect over and over again. Most of its damage will be coming from Ignis anyways. Ignis will kill the tankier guys out there, and Arden can 2-shot squishies with the first 2 attacks from Brave Sword Plus. C slot is flex, depends on what team you put him in. Dry defense is all around good. It can be used on any team. Panic Ploy combos well with Deflect Magic Sacred Seal to reduce damage from mages. You can also give him the Brash Assault 3 seal so he can quad enemies at 50% and above or below. Second build, I guess you can call it a cookie cutter build nowadays. It's a really common pairing of skills for physically bulky units. Usually bulky units will run Steady Breath and Quicker Post together. Follow Up Ring is just a better Quicker Post. This is an enemy phase set. The strategy of this build will differ depending on what special and seal you give him. If you don't have Quick Impulse, I think you should run Bonfire or Aether. Bonfire will be on a 2-charge cooldown, which means that when Arden gets hit, he can activate Bonfire with his first counter hit and his second counter hit. Combining Ignis and Quick Impulse will mean that Arden is able to proc Ignis on the first counter hit. As for Aether, Arden should be able to activate it on the second counter hit, which should kill most enemies. He'll also regain some health back to keep his health above 50% in order to keep using follow-up ring. C-Slot is flexible just like the previous build, and seals will depend on the special. Bonfire or Aether with Deflect Magic or Panic Ploy, and Ignis with Quick Impulse. So Arden is pretty good. If you already trained up Black Knight, then I wouldn't bother with Arden. Armor units aren't really my thing, so I'm probably just going to give him a budget set and call it a day. Anyways, if you haven't already, follow my Twitter and join my Discord. There's a scheduled voice chat every Saturday, so if you want to chat with me and the big boys, then you can find the link in the description. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.